A high-stakes and dangerous standoff is gripping the Middle East. Families on both sides caught in the crossfire. Some with just seconds to find safety, others with no protection at all. The airstrikes are escalating. Israel poised to invade Gaza, Hamas daring them to make good on that threat. A region is on the brink of all-out war, and tonight, world leaders are wondering what can be done to prevent it. Our team has been out reporting from the field all day. ABC's Christian Amanpour is standing by in Jerusalem tonight, and we begin with ABC's Alex Marquardt in Gaza. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, George. As the death toll soared past 100 today, you could feel the anger growing. Gazans are furious over the civilian deaths, but despite the loss of life, they're not backing down. A massive explosion as Israeli airstrikes pounded Gaza today, while militant rockets flew into Israel. And amidst it all, this. Tiny bodies of the dead as they left the hospital today, carried through the crowd for their funerals. We ask all the militant groups to respond to these massacres, this man said. We shouldn't talk about a ceasefire at all. They were killed Sunday by a missile that obliterated their 3-story house, killing 9 from a single family. Israel said it was an accident. In southern Israel, where our Matt Gutman is reporting, 3-year-old Karen plays with her tricycle until sirens sound. Her family rushes down to their bomb shelter, 8 members of the Malka family huddling together during the explosions.
What we think was one of the Iron Dome missiles intercepted one of the rockets overhead. There was a big boom. Of course, everybody ran down right into the bunker.
When the sirens sound, you have just 30 seconds to get to the shelter, so families don't leave home. Schools and businesses are closed. Just over the border tonight, Egypt is leading intense international talks to broker a ceasefire. In Cambodia today, President Obama worked the phones, calling Israel and Egypt's leaders. But back here, between the bombs, children were able to get outside and smile, while others hope for quieter times.
We need peace. We need peace. If they stop, if Israel stop, I'm sure they will stop.
But of course, it's not that simple. Both sides say they want peace, but blame the other side for preventing it. So tonight, while many hope for a peace deal, the missiles keep flying. George?
Okay, Alex, thanks. Let's get some perspective now from ABC's Global Affairs anchor Christian Amanpour in Jerusalem. Christian, we now have the situation where Israel has been threatening for days to roll tanks into Gaza. Hamas calls it a bluff. Do you have any better sense tonight how real this threat is and when a ground invasion might happen?
Well, the threat is real. In fact, one Israeli official told me today that perhaps we're going to have to make the sword clearer to energize the diplomacy. On the other hand, they want to make the diplomacy work, and they say they really are counting on that success. At this hour, the Israeli so-called Gang of 9 is meeting. That is the Prime Minister, along with his senior advisors and kitchen cabinet, to try to figure out how to respond to a proposal put forward by Egypt. So the effort is really underway to have a diplomatic solution. Whether it works or not, we're waiting to see.
And how about the role of the United States in all this? President Obama has stood by Israel publicly, but he's also talked to the Egyptian president about ways to de-escalate the conflict. What specific ideas are on the table?
All the American efforts are going through Egypt when it comes to Hamas. They are taking the lead. From what we understand, Egypt wants to have a ceasefire and then a bigger negotiation about lifting the siege of Gaza. Hamas wants that all to be part of one agreement, and Israel wants to see a stop of hostilities, no more rockets into Israel, and doesn't want to link that to a ceasefire. So those are the parameters. How they get close together to make a success of this is really what's underway right now.
And a lot of activity right now. Christian Amanpour, thanks very much.